Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. This is a public meeting, and there are no lettings today, but we do have one hearing which we will handle at this time. Hearing number 8288 is being conducted pursuant to Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. The applicant, B&B Tattoos LLC, CO Michael Spencer, is proposing to operate a tattoo parlor at 2903 Cherokee Street. Due to the nature of the business, the applicants are required to hold a license issued by this board pursuant to the guidelines of Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. As outlined in Section 8.97.070 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis, the Board of Public Service may approve such application after hearing if it is satisfied that the applicant is of good moral character and the applicant is given evidence that he will be able to operate the premise in compliance with all regulations and laws governing such premise, and the applicant is resident of state and his neighborhood consent petition is in due form, and the applicant's premise are not within 500 feet of an elementary school. The Board of Public Service has in its possession is therefore admitted into evidence the following documents. Item 1, a certified copy of Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. Item number 2, the applicant's file with the Office of Secretary, Board of Public Service, which includes but is not limited to A, the license application submitted on October 15th, 2024 with the drawing of the proposed premise for 7 chairs, and B, public notices that were published and posted for today's hearing. 3, a copy of certificate of occupancy and zoning issued on October 15th, 2024 to B&B Tattoos for 2903 Cherokee Street to be occupied as a tattoo studio. Item 4, a copy of the professional registration for the tattooist to Michael Joe Spencer. Item 5, a November 5th, 2024 letter from Health Director Dr. Maddie Davis, MD, stating that the community sanitation staff inspected the facility at 2903 Cherokee Street and found no evidence of health code violations. The issuance of the license for a tattoo establishment was recommended. Item 6, copies of letters dated November 19th, 2024, sent from the Secretary of the Board to B&B Tattoos, CO Michael Spencer, and B&B Tattoos, CO Michael Spencer and Chanel Thomas at 2903 Cherokee Street, notifying them of this hearing. And item 7, copies of a letter dated November 19th, 2024, sent from the Secretary of the Board to WJL Historic LLC, CO William Lieberman, 1105 Buck Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63117, regarding this hearing. The board will swear in and hear from the applicants and those in support of the applicant's proposed use. The board will then allow any of those in opposition, if any, of this tattoo parlor to address the board. After each side has had an opportunity to speak, the board will then allow for rebuttal. At this time, will the applicant please come forward and be sworn in by the secretary?
Please raise. Hello, Michael. Please raise your right hand. Unmute your mic for me. Can you unmute your mic? Okay.
STLTV, can you unmute Mr. Spencer, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
You go.
Raise your right hand, please. The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and your address for the board.
Michael Spencer. My house address?
Yes.
2903 Cherokee Street. 2915 Ridgeway.
Thank you.
2915 Ridgeway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63117. Regarding this hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you can put your hand down, sir. I have a series of questions I will ask you, and then I'll open the floor up for any questions from our board members. I'll also give you an opportunity to address the board as well. So number one, are you a resident of the state of Missouri?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and the state of Missouri requires tattoo establishments to be issued a license from the director of the Division of Professional Registration for the state of Missouri for operation. Do you have a license for this proposed tattoo establishment issued by the director of the Division of Professional Registration from the state of Missouri?
Yes, I just had my inspection yesterday and passed for the state, and I have my actual tattoo license. Yes.
Okay, and how many tattoo chairs are being applied for today?
It's gonna be 7. There's only 4 in there right now, but eventually, so I put 7 just in case.
Okay, and are you aware that any increase in the number of tattoo chairs must be applied for with this board?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how many employees will you have at this establishment?
Right off the bat, there's gonna be 3.
Okay, and do all the tattoo artists have their Missouri state licensure?
Yes,
Okay, and will you be able to comply with all provisions of chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis? Specifically, do you understand that you, as the operator of this tattoo parlor, are at all times responsible for the orderly conduct of the establishment and the acts of any of your agents, servants, or employees in the operation of the same?
yes, sir.
B, do you understand that tattoo establishments may only be open between 9 a.m. and 1 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
And what are your proposed hours?
I'm closing at 8 o'clock from 11 to 8.
11 to 8. And C, do you understand that tattoo parlors shall be kept clean and well lighted so that the rear of the premise is plainly visible from the front of the premise?
Yes, sir.
And will you be able to comply with this requirement for your tattoo establishment?
Certainly.
And finally, D, do you understand that no tattoo parlor shall allow or permit any loud noises, boisterous or disorderly conduct in or around the premise or on the grounds of such premise, and the operator shall prevent the loitering of persons on the premise or around the grounds of the tattoo parlor?
Yes, I understand.
And will you be able to comply with all these regulations?
Yes, sir.
Great. So that is the end of the formal questioning. At this time, Ms. Spencer, I'll give you an opportunity to address the board and tell us anything you would like.
Nothing. I just appreciate everything, and I'm looking forward to getting going. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Okay. So at this time, I'd like to open the floor up for any questions for our applicant from any of our board directors. Okay. Seeing no questions, thank you, Mr. Spencer. If you would please mute yourself, that'd be great. If there's anyone present today that is in opposition to the applicant or the proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. I do not see anyone in the chat. I don't see anyone else on the screen. Michelle, is anyone in the room with you?
No, there's not.
Okay, so one more time, if you're here in opposition to the applicant or this proposed establishment, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect that there is no one to testify in opposition to the applicant or the proposed establishment. At this point, if there's anyone else in favor of this application who wishes to testify, the applicant or the proposed establishment, please bring it to my attention at this time. Again, I don't see anyone in the chat. Michelle, you indicated no one's in the room with you, and I see no one else on the screen. So finally, if there's anyone else in favor of this application or proposed establishment beyond the proposed conditional use holder, license holder, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect that there's no one else here today to testify in favor of the applicant or proposed establishment. At this time, the matter concerning hearing number 8288 is now closed and submitted. The board will deliberate the matter following the remaining agenda items. At this time, I'll ask Secretary to please call the roll.
Director Coyle,
Present.
Director Davis,
Present.
Director Hayes,
Present.
Director Patel,
Present.
Director Pearson,
Present.
Director Williams,
Present.
President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call this meeting order.
Regular business from the president. Recommendation that approval be given as follows. Abstract of proposals received on September 17, 2024 for the Public Works as advertised under letting number 8776. 20th Street Mobility Improvement Federal Project Number CMAC STP BUILD 5617. The lowest responsible bid was received from Ranieri Construction LLC for $14,402,034.93, and it is recommended that it be given preliminary approval. Amendment number 2 to contract number 78911 for building custodial services with Deep Clean and Maintenance LLC. This second amendment adds the 1212 Central Industrial Drive building to the contract for twice weekly cleaning service, which will start on January 2nd, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for $5,340. The maximum not to exceed amount remains the same at $2,200,000. PSA number 1274, update to the airport pavement management plan at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Crawford, Murphy and Tilly, Inc. for the maximum agreement amount of $396,274. PSA number 1284 for new west de-icing pad at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Crawford, Murphy and Tilly, Inc. for the maximum agreement amount of $5,099,817. Supplemental agreement number 3 to PSA number 1257, engineering design services for airfield project at St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Crawford, Murphy and Tilly, Inc. This supplemental agreement in the amount of $133,052.65 is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 71005. Transmitted for award is a proposed contract with Millstone Weber LLC for the Public Works as advertised under letting number 8769. Reconstruction of Taxi Lane Charlie from Taxiway S to Taxiway G, Project 2 at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. The proposed contractor has furnished a performance bond as required by the city charter. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action for the following. All labor, parts, and equipment to remove, inspect, and rebuild pump number 1 at the Chain of Rocks Water Treatment Plant Distributive Pumping Station. The estimated cost of this work is $92,000. Spring and Delore valve site actuator replacement. This work is crucial to the operation of the water treatment plant. The estimated cost is $10,000. From the Director of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Maureen and William McCouen to divide the lots at 4066 Russell Boulevard and 2110 Thurman Avenue in City Block 4941. Request by Christine James Real Estate Missouri LLC and Altea Land Surveyors to divide the lots at 2614 and 2616 Accomack Boulevard of Sarpy's Addition in City Block 1382. Request by LRA and Civil Design, Inc. to consolidate all lots within City Block 2430 at Bissell Street, 20th Street, and Stratman Place. Request by Steelcraft Homes to consolidate 5519 and 5513 Botanical Avenue in City Block 4048. Request by DNR Building Group and Altea LLC to adjust the boundary lines between lots 6301, 6299, 6295, 6293, and 6291 Magnolia Avenue in City Block 4800. From the Directors of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by MSD for public improvement at 2231 Olive Street to construct approximately 363 linear feet of a 30-inch combined sewer pipe. Request by Park Central Development for public improvements at 5510 Waterman Avenue to include the installation of an 8-pin spun concrete lamp for a lighting project along south side of Waterman Avenue from Belt to Clara. Joint recommendation that 5 applications from ADB be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 98 for 3156 Geyer Avenue. Application number 108 for 2600 Pappen Street. Application number 115 for 3965 Labadee Avenue. Application number 116 for 4901 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Application number 118 for 3901 Watson Road. Joint recommendation that 2 applications from Charter be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 110 for 929 North Spring Avenue. Application number 146 for 1100 North Second Street. Joint recommendation that 1 application from Missouri Network Alliance be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 124 for 2929 Shoto Avenue. We have 8 conditional uses from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board. My name is Steve Narr, zoning plan examiner for the city, and I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. Per board order number 7066, transmitted herewith our recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 8 conditional use permits. The first is 853 Elias Avenue. The second is 2246 Indiana Avenue. Third, 4545 Wichita Avenue. Fourth, 5916 Delmar Boulevard. The fifth is 393 North Euclid Avenue, Unit 230. The sixth is 6008 to 210 Hampton Avenue. Seventh is 7529 Michigan Avenue. And the eighth is 3226 North Newstead Avenue.
Thank you, Steve. Are there any questions on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
So move, Pearson.
Second, Williams.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Thank you. Hearing number 8288 for B&B Tattoos at 2903 Cherokee Street. The applicant is Michael Spencer. We have documentation from Dr. Maddie that the community sanitation staff inspected facility on no evidence of violations. Issuance of a license for a tattoo establishment was recommended. We heard from our applicant today, and he is in compliance with all licensure from the Division of Professional Registration from the state of Missouri, as well as compliance with all of Chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. There was no one else today to testify in favor or opposition to the applicant or the proposed establishment. So with that brief summary, I'll open the floor up for any discussion. Seeing no discussion, is there a motion?
Based upon Mr. Spencer's documentation, I make a motion that we approve.
Second, Davis.
Thank you, directors. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the hearing is approved. Thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to the meeting minutes from December 3rd, 2024. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve, Williams.
Second, Pearson.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the meeting minutes are approved. Thank you. Today's BPS meeting agenda. Are there any questions or comments on our agenda items today?
Motion to approve Hayes.
Second Coyle.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson.
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. Thank you. Before we adjourn, I will open the floor for any comments, and I just want to remind everyone that we will have a meeting next Tuesday on the 17th, and then we will not have a meeting on Tuesday, December the 24th, which is Christmas Eve, and we will not have a meeting on Tuesday, December the 31st, which is New Year's Eve. So please plan accordingly. One next week, and then you're off for a couple weeks to recharge, and we'll see you on the other side. So with that, are there any other comments or questions from any of our board directors?
Given that we are gonna be out for the holidays, I want to move, based on the hearing, that we all go out and get matching tattoos.
Oh, sh-
Very well noted. Very well noted. Any other comments?
Not seconded, Davis.
There you go. All right. Any further comments before we adjourn today? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Hayes.
Second Coyle.
Second, Williams.
Thank you, directors. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great afternoon.